Of Haiti.
That's correct.
And what would happen, for instance, after the earthquake? How could you unshake it?
That's correct. Tell me more. We've been talking for a long time now.
Well, I mean, the first thing that needs to happen is you have to be goal-directed, and the goal of Haiti at this point has to be restoration of a Judeo-Christian ethic and a constitution like what made the United States what it is. We are different from Haiti only in the assumptions of our constitution, and it was a Judeo-Christian biblical ethic that caused there to be free enterprise and private enterprise and economic development and some kind of an infrastructure. So the first thing the Haitians need right now is water and food and sewage and roads and a way to get just the basic needs of life. But to develop further any kind of an infrastructure, they're going to need a constitution like ours. I don't want them to become America. They can be Haitian, but they can have a Haitian constitution that honors the creator of the universe that made them who they are. And there are many, many, many thousands of Haitians who are in the streets now praising God, worshiping, asking for His blessing, asking for His direction, and that's the first step. The second step after that is the actual construction of roads, and they have to be taught. And it says in the Bible, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." It isn't for lack of any kind of a system. They just have to have they have to be taught. They need schools in which to learn how to do all the necessary things that make society run.
I've been watching all these videos. You have been down to Haiti. Could you tell us about some of these videos that I've been seeing of you in Haiti serving these people as a doctor?
Well, I went down to Haiti with an organization called World Harvest for Christ, also with CBN's Operation Blessing, that was also sponsored by America, and also Mercy Ships. And over a period of 7 or 8 expeditions, we went down into Haiti. We took 60 Haitian pastors from the island onto the ship and had a conference of pastors, and we went up into the mountains and took care of the villages. In many places, we took care of patients and people who had not been seen by a doctor for years or never seen. Other times it maybe have been 6 months or so. We went to prison colonies, we went to the remote areas, and we brought basics of public health. Began to install wells, sidewalks to keep from getting hookworm, latrines to keep from having a fecal-oral contamination, established basic public health measures, and treated malaria en masse, and then treated Wucherer-Bencrofty, which is elephantiasis en masse.
Elephantitis, right.
Yeah, elephantiasis. Elephantitis is an elephant that's really swollen.
Okay. I saw your picture in there with other things, with children.
Right.
All kinds
there were
of
children with kwashiorkor, which is a Swahili African word, and that means red hair, because your hair turns red when you don't have the right proteins to make it have color. And so it's total protein malnutrition. You may be eating cornstarch or bread, but you don't get any protein with it. And then there was marasmus, which is total protein malnutrition, total protein and carbohydrate malnutrition. That's the skinny little kids that look like old men. Was malaria, typhoid fever, tuberculosis is a terrible thing. Just minor wounds that we would put a little Bactroban or something on and a Band-Aid in our country can end up causing you to lose a hand or your finger or your life.
That's what's happening right now.
Sure. A little girl just died, 11 years old, from a simple amputation of a hand. She should not have died from that.
Well, what do we need? Do we need clinics? We need small clinics? I mean, we have ideas.
Well, you actually need operating room stations like small county hospitals in the United States about every 50 miles, where you could have a surgeon and dental facilities, and then you need to have visiting nurses and doctors. They can be paramedics or nurses that do the primary care, because you're basically telling people to wash their hands, how to cook their food, how not to get hookworm when you walk around, how not to get malaria from mosquito bites.
We do this out of containers, shipping containers that can be customized for clinics. I mean, immediately we have to do things right away.
Sure.
Right. We can do that.
Well, the first thing that has to happen right now is the Army has to go in, because there is such a lack and there is such demand. There are gangs that have formed up in any deficient economy like that. You're going to have gangs of people, and the Army has to control it first, and then it has to be the decision making about enforcing the law and keeping the peace has to be handed back over to local Haitian officials, and then you can begin to do the clinics and that sort of thing.
But we can think about it.
If you did a clinic now with a structure, you also have to have a company of soldiers.
Yeah, right.
Because you'd be overrun.
That's correct. So that means that, but however, the planning stage can be, let's say, within like a month of planning.
Sure.
Let's say that we want to implement it in February.
Right. The first thing they're going to need is water. The second thing they're going to need is sanitary facilities. And the third thing they need is food. and if you just keep dropping off food, it won't cause them to grow any.
Well, through our experiences, but with dentists, of course, we used crude methods, but I mean, it worked. It worked very well.
I think you saw in the video.
The generators.
You saw in the video we were doing dental work without anesthesia, and they were willing to do it because they're so desperate.
Yeah.
Now we would rather use anesthesia. That can be done.
Yeah, we have that. Between that. Generators.
But the thing that is most necessary medically in Haiti right now are things like Bactroban ointment, Rocephin, IV antibiotics, IV fluids. People have crush injuries under all these buildings and all these wounds, and they will have a swelling and damage to the proteins in their leg. That protein then floods the kidneys then stop, and they die of renal failure later on. If you had IV fluid to flush the system out, if you had just plenty of water for them to drink, that would work.
You know, that's why education is so important for us. All that you're saying, I've taken most of this in. Notes have been written already on lots of things you've said. And of course, I have my wife is down here with me in South Carolina, and we were going to email each other. And of course, I am connected with some fine organizations in the Dominican Republic that will be able to hear my side, our side also of it. That everyone has to be involved. The politicians, the USAID, Peace Corps, the government here in this country, in that country. So even though I'm a small person, I think I am important also.
Right. Well, our affiliations have been with Samaritan's Purse, Mercy Ships, YWAM, Youth, World Harvest for Christ, or World Harvest International with Miriam Frederick, AmeriCare, CBN's Operation Blessing. I mean, for all of Pat Robertson's comments about the problems in Haiti because of its religious origin, 10,000 tons of things that are dropped off by Operation Blessing at CBN.
Let me ask this question because about time. I know you're busy. With these videos that you have been showing me, would you be kind enough to lend that to me so I can take that to the Dominican Republic?
You have my permission on camera to use that anywhere you want.
I'd like to put that on YouTube.
Sure. It's already on a website called scienceandwonders.com.
Okay.
That's ScienceAndWonders, scienceandwonders.com.
Okay. This is the time to push that.
Sure.
I'm going to do that, and we'll stay in touch.
Sure.
And I want to thank you so much.
Well, man, thank you.
Okay.
Have a good time with it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.